believer, a non-believer, because you're going to go, hang on.
You'll question it. And if Christians hate anything more, it's being questioned. And that's the worst part, right? Like, you have this faith that you have so much, but no one can question you about it at all because because you just get defensive and angry. And that's not how conversations about religion should go. Like, when you get angry and defensive about it, it shuts
But if you
it
don't
down.
agree with me, I'll kill you.
Exactly. And that's the moral of Christianity.
That's Christianity. That's some Christianity there for you. I remember when I was... I went to church one time with a friend.
Okay.
And they were apostolic. Which is very, very locked down Christianity, where it's like very conservative.
Bitch, wait, they allowed you in?
I know, right?
What?
The women can only wear dresses, no pants, no makeup, no jewelry. The only jewelry they can wear is a watch because it's functional. Nothing for vanity.
Oh.
So you get married, you get a fancy watch. You don't even get a wedding ring. Now, this may have changed since I went there. This was 40 years ago. Okay? So 40 plus, because whatever. I was a teenager, and that's more than 40 years. But it doesn't matter. But they could have plastic surgery.
Oh, yeah.
So you couldn't put on makeup.
Right.
But you could have plastic surgery.
You can alter your entire face.
So you couldn't put on something that will wash off, but you could change what God gave you.
Right.
Because that's not vanity.
I know.
And so I remember talking to the mother of my then friend, now not friend, and I was saying, hang on, I have some questions. And she said to me, we don't question these things. We just have faith. And I was like,
woof.
But what about the things that don't make sense?
Right.
And she said, that's not for us to question. But why not?
Right. But
why not for us to question? Because I said it doesn't make sense. And she literally, it was as if she just could say that one pre-programmed, not for us to question. You just have to have faith. You just have to believe. Well, I don't believe.
But who decided that? And why?
For the exact reason you were saying.
No,
if
but exactly.
you dig too deep, you're going to go, this is all bullshit.
But
this is all fabricated. This is all stolen.
It just feels so weird to me that nobody questions it throughout time. You know what I mean? It's like, or you're excommunicated or exiled or whatever the case may be, but no one, this has been able to survive this long because no one questions it. This is why I can't be religious, bitch, because I'm like, what'd you say? That's wrong. You know what I mean? Like, I question literally everything.
And that's the very, very basis of Scientology. If you even speak a word against Scientology, you are not only thrown out of the church, you're not only thrown out,
the corporation,
but everyone is now forced to shun you.
Yeah.
And they then start a hate campaign against you, especially if you're a celebrity. I mean, like Leah Remini, who I adore.
Right.
When she left the church quietly. She said, I'm no longer in it. And within moments, there were websites talking about what trash she was and why she was a liar, why she was awful. And that is when she started doing that, I'm going to expose Scientology for what it is.
Yeah.
It's like,
and snaps
I have nothing to lose because they tried to turn my family against me. Sorry. And most of her family came with her. Yeah. Some of her family did not.
Sure.
But... when she finally saw the light and was like, okay, this is stupid. I'm leaving. I'm out. All it's done all my life has cost me money. And the richer she got, the more they wanted. Yeah. And when she finally was like, this is it, I'm telling the truth, hate campaign.
Yep.
So it was the extreme of being shunned. Because the Amish will also, once you do Rumspringa, Rumspringa, if you decide not to come back, you are shunned.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't get to come back.
But you get to choose that. But you made the choice.
Yeah, but you get to choose once. You don't get to say, you know what, I changed my mind. I want to come back now. Nope, sorry.
Tradition isn't always good.
No.
Tradition often is not good.
Well, tradition without question
is ugly.
Yeah, if you just keep going, we have always done it this way.
And we're never going to change.
And we're never going to change. And you can't make us. And we won't think about it. We won't look at it. We won't talk about it.
Why?
All of that is problematic.
Why?
All of it. Mm-hmm. From top to bottom, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So, there was our light little topic for the first third of our thing. So we're going to take a quick break.
Pigeon. Okay.
You know, when we talked about yesterday what we were going to talk about today, it was a light little topic of music.
Sure.
Because, well, when we first started doing our pod 19 episodes ago, we were like writing copious notes and doing lots of research.
Yeah.
And then we found that if we did minor note taking and we're like, hey, let's talk about this, we would have that in our minds that we would talk about this thing. And like you said earlier, we would get off on the tangents and talk about whatever the hell we want, because that's who we are, and that's who we are in real life, and that's how we work, and that's how we talk, and that's how we live.
Because hashtag tangents are topics.
Hashtag tangents are topics. That's going to be one of the hashtags when I post the show today.
When we put a shirt on it. Put a shirt on it. Put it on a shirt. Listen.
I don't know if I can put a shirt on it, but I will put it on.
You know what I don't deserve is that from you. So
you absolutely
okay, whatever, ma'am.
All right. But I thought I had something else. You know, well, one of the topics we didn't even get to last week, which I think we'll have to just save for later, maybe, or depending on this music thing. Who knows? We might start talking about music and have nothing to say.
I know.
Have nothing interesting.
What's music?
Was we were going to talk about social contracts and narcissism, and really how one directly affects the other.
Yeah.
Because what I've realized is that when I expect someone to kind of live within the kind of typical social contracts, it's the narcissistic people who just don't get why it's a problem.
Yes.
But we'll get to that later.
Oh, okay.
We'll talk about that later. We're going to talk about music. One of the things I wanted to talk about.
Listen, we've talked about music a lot, by the way. Like, this isn't the first time we've brought up music ever on this podcast.
Oh, I know.
We've talked about it a number of times. So
should we not talk about it?
No, let's talk about music.
Screw music.
But this is just like
I hate music.
Well, I know you do, because disco is dead.
How
no, let's talk
dare
about
you.
music. I'm just saying, we've talked about a lot of different dimensions of music.
Yeah, we certainly have.
We're just now, like, we have, like, our PhDs in music or something.
I know.
Just from this podcast.
Wow,
You're all educated.
By the way, if you've listened to all of our podcasts, you now have a PhD.
Who knew? In 19 podcasts, you too could be a doctor.
A doctor of tangents.
Dream. Girl, send me hate mail and let me be a doctor of tangents in my life.
Right.
Complete. That's why maybe I should join Scientology and leave so they can start a hate campaign against me.
I like it.
I
get out there and publicly talk shit about Scientology, and they will start a hate campaign against you. There'll be websites everywhere. It's like, Annika is a bitch. Annika is an idiot.
I'm like, yes,
Annika
ma'am.
is
All those.
horrible.
Those are all true.
Horrible.
True.
One of the things we were going to talk about, I know I said, let's talk about your favorite and what's the worst music ever and remakes. I was shocked because just for fun, I was like, I'm going to look at what people consider the worst songs of all time.
Okay, tell me. I didn't look that up.
I did, and one of the, and I'm not going to tell you all because some of them, who cares?
Yeah.
But one of the songs that came up on two different lists that I was like, how dare they, was Four Non Blondes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
What, and where's the title? What's going on?
Yeah. What? Wait.
What's up?
It's What's Up? What's Up? Yeah.
By Four Non Blondes. And I was like, that's a fantastic song.
That's
What's
a
wrong
very
with you?
good song, yeah.
I used to perform that in my show. I love that song.
People...
What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Why are you a hater? Is it because you hate women? And the song really is about how men rule the world and need to stop?
Oh, God. Hasn't that been the case for a long ass time?
I mean, that's really what the song is about.
I guess I never really paid attention to it. I love it, though. I think the song's great. Who doesn't love it?
But I was like,
clearly a lot of people don't.
But one of the other things we were going to talk about is remakes that we didn't know we needed and remakes that no one needed.
Right. Oof, girl.
But here's what I found out that shocked me.
Oh my God, what?
Well, I've always known that the song Natural Woman by Aretha Franklin was a remake.
Interesting.
She did not write it or originally sing it. It was Carole King.
Okay.
I knew that.
Okay.
So best remake probably of all time.
Right.
Because Carole King had a minor hit with it. Aretha Franklin became a legend with that song.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But the other one was I didn't remember or didn't know, I guess, that Respect.
Okay.
You know, which was arguably that's a hard word. Ambiguously.
Oh, jeez.
It's other words. Arguably, her biggest hit was a remake.
Interesting.
I did not know that.
Me either.
Yeah.
Because one of the topics I want to talk about is a lot of black artists who created songs who had like minor success, and then white artists who redid them and had major success.
Yes.
And usually never, they often don't credit
Oh, right.
the black artist. But
in the 50s, that was very common. Pat Boone was one of those ones who would like
a list.
would do. I think probably my favorite because it is so terrible. The song Tutti Frutti by Little Richard.
Tutti Frutti, that's the one I was gonna say, yeah.
Well, because it's wild, and it's raucous, and it's joyous, and it's all the things you want rock and roll music to be. And since we're talking about it, rock and roll, invented by black people, stolen by white people.
Yeah.
And then Patten-Dunn came out and did his version of it. And honest to God, it was like, Tutti Frutti. Oh, I mean,
okay,
like,
I want you to know.
with the white bucks on it and the whole.
That just reminds me of the movie Dreamgirls, musical Dreamgirls, when they're singing Cadillac Car, and then the white people are like, "Got me a Cadillac car." Like, shut the fuck up. Go to your little choir and shut up. It's bad.
And do you know what a Cadillac is?
I know, probably not.
Think you do. I don't think you do.
Yeah, but I mean, also the song like "Hound Dog." That everyone knows is the Elvis song was, Big Mama Thornton.
Yeah. What, by the way, her version
is better, right?
It's so much better,
right? And so,
but how many people know her version? Because everybody's like,
almost
nobody.
Elvis, like almost
Elvis
nobody, right?
originated that song. No, he did not.
Nope.
He didn't originate anything.
There was another.
The only thing Elvis did that was original to Elvis was the way he moved on stage.
That's it.
But even that was very, very stolen, borrowed, whatever, from watching other entertainers. Because at that time, well, and always, I think, black entertainers, when they were performing for specifically a black audience, were much more free. Because white people are much more kind of buttoned down and like, oh, people are looking at me.
Excuse me?
You hurt me. And so he was inspired by the people he had seen.
Yeah.
And did his thing and became very famous for it. I mean, he also did all the other stupid things that rich white men do.
Sure.
But whatever.
Like sleep with underage girls.
Well, that, get into guns and drugs and
rock and roll.
That life of excess and then death.
One of the ones I thought was shocking too was Surfin' USA, that everyone knows by the Beach Boys, was a Chuck Berry song.
No, it was not.
Yeah. Girl.
No.
Girl, which
You're making that up.
I do that often, but I'm not making this.
Because I only know, because I am one of those white people who can't stand the Beach Boys.
Ooh, girl.
And I know I'm probably going to get some hate mail for that, but I hate the Beach Boys.
Listen, if people are sending you hate mail because you don't like the Beach Boys, then they shouldn't be listening to our fucking podcast because we're not Beach Boys people.
No.
I'm leaving.
No, because they're just so white.
I know. I do have to say, though, that my Aunt Kathy loved Beach Boys, and so I only felt it acceptable when around Aunt Kathy. And, at her funeral, we played it. It was very sweet because, but different, right? Like, I am not going to be like, you know what I'm craving? Some Beach Boys. The only time I ever want to hear about the Beach Boys is when it's related to, like, when Charles Manson was hanging out with one of them. Right. And, like, lived in one of their houses.
Well, and he
destroyed.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Because I could be. But he wrote Charles Manson wrote some of their music.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Charles Manson
for the album Pet Sounds.
Was a singer-songwriter. But
I do know some shit.
And he was inspired by, like, the Beatles' White Album. And then he wrote all this, like, and his songs aren't bad. It's very of the time, though. Do you know what I mean? Like, acoustic-y, kind of, like, folky music. It wasn't bad, technically, of the time. It was just because it was Charles Manson.
Sure.
But there are songs, that the Beatles, not the Beatles,
the
Beach Boys have used that were Charles Manson songs.
Right.
They obviously, again, don't credit him. They just snatched it. But
right.
Now it is known that, it was Charles Manson, which is gross to me. But,
yeah.
Oh, Charlie. Listen, I used to be, this is off topic, very, very into serial killers, cult leaders.
I know that.
Masterminds. And it's not that I'm not anymore. It's just kind of faded. But I have two of my good friends, Heather Ian and Heather Rachel. It's like Sister Ian and Sister Rachel. They also, and then we had like our favorite serial killer, and Charles Manson was mine. I lived in LA. We got to go to where Spawn Ranch was. And so it was interesting, which is where he lived with the family. Yeah. Anyway, this is very off topic. But I used to be very into learning about serial killers. So fuck around, find out, basically. Wow. No, just kidding.
Wow.
Back to music, there is one that I didn't really know. Proud Mary.
Oh, sure. Proud Mary was originally Creedence Clearwater.
Right, and I was shooketh that I didn't...
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that. I mean, I've
known because I'm super old, and Creedence Clearwater did it first, and wrote it, and whatever, and blah, blah. Fine. It was lovely.
Yeah.
But in the movie, What's Love Got to Do with It?
Okay.
They talk about that, this song that they had taken from them. What was interesting to me is when Tina Turner, Tina Turner, opened for the Rolling Stones.
What's happening?
pushing
Abort
buttons.
mission.
Sorry.
Abort mission.
That was me being dumb and pushing buttons accidentally.
She's
Sorry about that.
really tech
Oh
savvy.
my god.